Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simbe Mwiza, and I'd like to welcome you to the future of mobile money payments, Zinga. Our system is not just a mobile money payment system. We definitely did not take our beloved, awesome sponsor of this event, MTN's APIs, and create a web interface for it. No. We are, as a team, AI specialists. So we did what we do best, and we pivoted our AI technology towards mobile payments. Next slide, please. Okay, so the problem is this country lacks a reliable mobile money payment system. Systems that are user-friendly, systems that the local population understands, or we as Africans accept. A scenario is lots of e-commerce companies start up in Zambia. Example, Kemu.com Zambia. Really haven't gotten much coverage with the people because their payment systems are not compatible with the people using it. Next slide. So the solution is coming up with a payment system that is more convenient for the people, and which one the people understand and which the people want to use. We found out that people find it more safe and convenient to use mobile money, and we said, why not use that technology to make payments online? All right, so the functionality is, here's where the cool stuff comes in. We as Microdot added AI to mobile money payments. So what it does is, since MTN has access to our user preferences, what sites we visit. Since they are an ISP, you can't run away from that. The other thing is your social media feeds. We got that and we pivoted that to make the system more relevant and accurate. So what happens is you get notifications based on what you like as a person. So for example, I like Hungry Lion, and this morning they had a tweet about spicy wings going at 15 kwacha. Anyone know about that? No one? Oh, he does. Yeah, so they're going at 15 kwacha then. I do not know about that. There's too much information out there that we can utilize. And to make mobile money payment a more efficient system, we need a platform that's able to analyze and tell people you can find this here and here, and actually make payments through MTN mobile money. And that will actually help MTN grow. And because of MTN's credibility, we pivoted and worked on the existing technologies instead of reinventing the wheel, starting something from scratch. So we used their APIs and added our AI systems to actually make predictive. Yes. 1 minute? All right. Yeah, and finally, Zinga tells you about the latest deals. So for example, Hungry Lion tweets about a new deal that they have. So if you're into shopping, if you're into sports, you're into gaming, if there are any stores around where you are based, it gives you notifications, a pop-up that leads you to the payment system, and you can actually make payments via the system through mobile money, and you don't have to use a credit card. And the other thing we wanted to tackle is actually people do not find it convenient or safe to We used the mobile money payment API because we know payment is an issue in this country and Africa at large. So yeah, we went for the more pressing issue. Yeah. Okay, the system is unsupervised. That's what's really cool about it. So it does data mining. So you don't have to actually take care of it and tell it, get information from there. It can actually aggregate and look for keywords in certain tweets, what you like as a user, and from that, clearly, your Facebook likes or your Twitter follows are a representation of who you are. I cannot follow a fashion page because I'm a techie. I actually follow tech trends, TechCrunch, Disrupt, and all that stuff. Yeah. So we utilize and pivot on open source intelligence. There's so much information out there that we could use to actually help MTN make their service better, for users. No, PayPal only helps you integrate a credit card and make a payment. We actually make it possible for you to transact money from your SIM card to your bank account. That is also a plus on the system. From the SIM card to your bank account, and bank account to SIM card, and vice versa. And courtesy of pro-based technologies. Okay, with MTN ad services, they only recommend what you like, then they take you to the site where you're supposed to buy from and use a credit card and not mobile money technologies. So that's what's different about Zynga.
Thank you very much. Let's give it up for them one more time. Let's give it up for the Avengers.
Good afternoon. We're the Avengers, and our project is called, next slide, Vichitika. It's a service that helps you discover events and buy tickets online. Next slide. So, how many times have you gotten to work or wherever you usually go, and you've been asked, what are you doing this weekend? Or what did you do this past weekend? And then you hear about some event that you would have liked to attend. Well, this is what we're trying to solve there. We're trying to bring forth, next slide. We're trying to bring forth events to your fingertips, and we're trying to help you buy the events at your convenience, because most of the time when you're trying to buy tickets for events, one of the biggest problems you have is queuing up in long lines, going to some location where you have to go get the tickets, finding they're sold out, and so on and so forth. Next slide. So what we have here is the search page. This is the homepage of the site. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a map at the back, and there's the featured ads, the featured events. So, okay, when you click the event, it shows you using Google Maps, it shows you where the event is going to be held. So when you click it, next slide. Alternatively, you can search an event. So for instance, TADHack Zambia, that's the first event there. When you click it, you have the function, you have the page there, and it opens. And then when you click it, next slide, you have the page. So that's the page, and to your left is a short code for the event. Every particular event has a short code. So once you enter that using the USSD, it gives you a prompt where you can buy the website using mobile money. Next slide. The resources we used were Python, Google Maps, and Ubuntu. Next. Our next steps are, what we want to do is, since it's a website right now, we want to move forward to a mobile application. And then after that, we'd like to harness the mobile application site and use QR codes as tickets and not as SMSs as we're using right now. Another function, the functionality we're using right now is SMSs. Your tickets come in form of SMSs. So what we want to do is we want to move from SMSs and alternately have QR codes. And the reason for the QR codes is for monitoring, crowd monitoring. So once you enter the QR code there, once you enter the gate of the event, like there, it will show how many people are attending the event. So those are the next steps. Next slide. Thank you, that's all. Bringing tickets to your convenience, to your fingertips.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's give it up for the Avengers. Let's give it up for Amauda. Please, let's hurry up, the person presenting.
My name is Paul Joseph Mapulanga. I'm one of the Amauda guys. So for us, we have thought of creating a portal. Now, this is a portal that's going to link students with all the tertiary learning institutions in Zambia. Most of the times we've realized saying we have so many talents, but they are not really seen from an aspect of maybe a different school or maybe other sponsors out there. So what we have come up with is a portal that will be able to link people from all over the country with their different kinds of talents to a specific point where they can all converge and interact. So the problem that we're facing right now is we don't have a background of our other professional the professional backgrounds of our other students. For example, if one person is in Luapula, the other person is in Lusaka, but they don't have that relation of, maybe let's say they're both engineers, but you don't know what your friend is studying. If I have an Indian background and he has a German background, then there's that conflict. What if I go to learn the German background, then we get to integrate that way. The other problems, there's too much of paper use. We're also looking at reducing that in form of maybe let's say circulation of handouts, circulation of notes, and all that. Then there's also, we're also trying to promote extracurricular activities with these different types of schools that we have. Next. So the solution that we're looking at is, if we can have a platform where all these guys can meet and get to interact, then we can have something that will be efficient. Now, how this is going to work, we're planning to go USSD, LAN and offline and online, web-based and app-based service. So that's our functionality. So, but we intend to go further. We intend to go further if we get to progress. We wish to have something that's going to be more efficient based on LAN, USSD, and all that. So what we would like, so that's a screenshot of the prototype of what we're looking at for our app. Next. That's the login page of the website. Next. So the resources that we had is we used CSS, JavaScript, and HTML for the website. Next. So what we intend to do in the near future, we intend to look at our steps to grow more. What I mean is, we want to basically integrate the whole of Zambia and get to have a sense where you can easily track your steps from everywhere. Like most of the times we don't, some institutions are not recognized with certain institutions that promote those professions. For example, EIZ, Engineering Institution of Zambia, doesn't know certain schools, but you've got engineers there. So we want to promote that with them. We also intend to, for example, use the money that we can get out of this to build up something that we can have a backbone on for this portal. And we also look forward to work with MTN, considering that they've introduced 4.5G net, so we can use that as well. Thank you. We are trying to bring up a point where we can all meet as students. Basically, we don't have a platform that an institution, a student from another institution can easily access a student from another institution, or a lecturer from one institution accessing another lecturer from another institution in terms of research purposes. So we were trying to innovate a platform that we can bring people together like that. Basically on a tertiary level of learning. We're trying to build up a database of which we can have a trial period, maybe let's say 3 months. Then on that same trial period, you get to register all the students that you can find online. Then out of that, we can get to test it and see how it runs. But with that, we're going to have a backbone of that as a database.
Let's give it up for real estate.
As we've seen, finding a house is a very big problem. And most people use social media in order to find what they're looking for. But the problem with social media is that it's not specific to the real estate problem. And there's this problem. Usually people use agents in order to find houses, but these agents exploit people. And there's always the middleman problem. The middleman is where, you know, there's an agent, he tells you he has this house, and you interact with them, and then they take you to where that house is, and that's a problem. Next slide, please. So our solution is an application that is able to show you the houses that are available. We have added a feature which automates the process. If you want a house for, say, with 3 bedrooms and within a certain price range, the application will be looking for that. You just tell the application. Then, in the background, it will be looking for that house. And when it finds it, it notifies you. So you don't have to be actively searching for that. And also, next slide, please. So functionality, it installs on Android. Why Android? Because most devices that people use are Android-based. And we also made it accessible on USSD, knowing that not everyone is able to have an Android phone. So people will be able to get text message alerts. Real-time communication. Real-time communication, this is immediately when someone posts a house, if it meets your requirements, you get a real-time notification. Therefore, ensuring that you get that information there and then. Custom recommendation. Based on what you have been looking for, it can also recommend other things. Therefore, you don't miss out. Next slide, please. What we use, Firebase. Firebase gives us access to real-time communication between the database. Immediately when there are changes in the database, it is displayed to the application, therefore giving the users an advantage. USSD, for those users that do not have smartphones. And mobile money. Agents, people who post stuff, houses on the application, needs to be paying. That's our monetization strategy. So in order for you to pay, in order for you to post, you need to pay. So that's where mobile money comes in. Next slide, please. What we need to complete this application, the required resources are server space, transportation for meetings and sales calls, advertising, and patenting. Next slide, please. One application that I think you're trying to cite is Property 24. The problem with Property 24 is that it doesn't cater to the Zambian market. Our innovation is in trying to, first of all, cater to the Zambian market by providing them with an application that removes them having to actively look for a house. You just give it what you want, the specifications, then it tells you when it finds it without you having to be checking your phone every time. So with this application, if I may ask, does it do that process in the background whilst you're away? If it doesn't do that, then what we're offering is, it's more of telling someone, look for a house for me. And then immediately it finds you with the technology that we're using, which allows real-time communication. Therefore, it will give people an advantage in that the information will be there and then when it happens.
Yeah, we enjoying so far. Give me a hoo-ha. Okay. Okay, next up we have the group E-Impia. E-Impia. Let's give it up for them. Yeah.
My name is Chinyanta Mwenya. We are Impia, OMPS. Impia, as you might know, is derived from a Bemba word meaning money. OMPS is an acronym for online mobile payment solutions. So what's Impia? Next slide, please. Online and mobile payment system. Next slide. So what's the problem we're trying to solve here? Firstly, each mobile network, MTN, Airtel, have wars around their mobile payment solutions. And they can't interact with banks and other financial institutions. So with the Impia system, we'll be able to break those wars and facilitate cross-platform payments. Another thing is there's no readily money accessible anywhere. One thing Impia will do is provide a platform that would allow a person in Shangombo, in the Bundu somewhere, to get their non-smartphone and transact or send money to someone. Another thing is there's no convenient online and mobile payment solution. Impia will provide a platform for e-commerce websites that are failing to be sustainable to survive. Next slide, please. So the platform can be accessed over USSD, interactive SMS, and any mobile app, and on web. It can be on Android, on iOS, on anything that can act as a front end. Next slide. So all those money providers and financial institutions can revolve around Impia. For Impia to function, we need 3 steps. 1, to sit down with a financial institution or payment provider and agree on integration. 3rd, we open an account with them. So every time we transact with customers from that bank, we use our account at their premises. And yeah, the payments will be, next slide. Next. Functionality. What is Impia? Impia is a 3-layer architecture system. It's got a database, logic, and front end. Impia supports cross-platform, as I mentioned, iOS, Android, etc. And Impia can integrate with most of the common e-commerce systems around: Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, etc. All you need to send a post message with a JSON message, or post variables. So again, Impia is social. You can log into Impia and create an account using your Facebook, your Twitter, or your Google Plus account. Next slide. Here we show you how we integrate with all those different systems. Next slide. In our system, we've got a dashboard that shows you all your account details. We've got limits that will help us meet compliance requirements. Next slide. That's the limits. Next slide. Here we use, integrating with MTN, we use mainly 2 APIs, the deposit and the payment APIs. And our system can send SOAP messages to and from the MTN API. Next slide. That's a government gazette by Bank of Zambia. Yeah. Next slide.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up. Turn to our judges. Thank you so. Okay. So next up we have App Close. Let's give it up for App Close. Your name, sir, and 4 minutes.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrew Mwanza from Evelyn Hunt College, 3rd year creative digital media student. I'm going to present to you App Close. This is a cross-platform mobile application that allows you to interact with any institution that you'd love to check out. Sorry. Okay. Next, please. All right. App Close. Next slide, please. The platform is cross-platform. As I said, it runs on Windows, iOS, and Android. The description and problem we found. On App Close gets the problems that you have towards checking for results online, downloading the application form, trying to check out if there are any courses that you'd like through the institution that you want to get to. Next slide. The benefits of the app, which are more like the solutions as well. Once you use the app, you can go online and offline. It works both ways. It also requires you to sign in, meaning the school can keep touch with how many people are trying to enroll. You'll be able, on the marketing side, you'll be able to see how many people are trying to come on board. Next slide. Clientele. Our clientele mainly is the students, want to be students, people who are interested in knowing more about the courses that are offered at the institutions. Our general forms of getting payment or revenue is through the adverts and the schools paying for the platform to be run. Okay, how it works. You have 3 paths there, and it shows you an example of how the app works. For example, these are the buttons down there, and you have the cost list, and the next slide shows you how the cost list is actually. You can actually have a feel of the app right now. It's running on Android, iOS, and Windows, 99% working. You can check for the cost that you want. You can go through it if you qualify or not, and then you can apply or not. Next slide. Yeah, why app close? Well, the feature of app close, we're trying to create a platform that will go from UNZA to CBU to, let's say, NIPA. Each school will have an app close. You can easily pull out information and see how it works. Next slide. Thank you very much. Actually, the first application is going to run. We're going to upload it in about 2 to 3 weeks' time on the stores. So the first one is going for Evelyn Horn College, because we're trying, at times in business, you have to lose to gain.
Right.
Yeah, so we're giving Evelyn Horn College for free, and then other institutions now will have to pay to purchase it and for maintenance, and then we can use it for maybe CBU, UNZA app close. And most institutions have website, but haven't documented their paperwork. You find for you to apply, you have to get on a bus all the way from Livingstone to come down here, buy an application form and apply. But sometimes we just give it to you and you'll be able to access that information. People can actually access information, vital information like checking of results. They can get download forms like maybe I want to apply for a room. I was accepted at UNZA. Instead of coming all the way with a bus to just get a form and apply, I'll just get that app on my phone. It's offline. Why pay for it? I'll download it. But at the same time, we'll be making money on the advertising part if they want to check for the courses, etc.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Next up, we have Uncoined.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anisa Swale, and I'm the team leader of Uncoined. We've all experienced a situation in which we've gone to a grocery store to buy some groceries, then only have to wait for 30 minutes in line just to have those groceries checked out of the store. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we experienced a situation in which we've wanted to buy tickets for a certain event, only to go to that ticket selling point and find out the tickets are already sold out. And the ticket salesman only accepts cash and no Visa or MTN mobile money. Our solution to these problems is Uncoined. Uncoined is a mobile money platform that simplifies mobile payments by simply allowing the user to scan their barcodes immediately they go to the store and to pay for that item using the barcode of the product they purchased and to check out all the store without having to wait in queue. The other feature for Uncoined is the ability for a user to purchase a ticket to any event they want by simply taking a photo of the flyer of that event and having the flyer scanned through the system to find the actual details for that event and the prices for the ticket and to enable the person to buy the tickets. Now, Uncoined makes it, this best part about Uncoined is that everything that you do will be done within the cloud. There will be no need for you to stand in queues or to go anywhere whatsoever. You can do it in your home or at your school. For example, let's say you want to buy a ticket for the Lusaka Fashion Week or Oktoberfest. All the app has to do is scan the flyers for the app, for the event, and allow the user to purchase the tickets through the app. Now, what resources we require to have this app fully functioning is a complete access to MTN Money API, the web and a web server and a database for all the barcodes for a store, grocery store, and also some mentorship from BongoHive and MTN as well. Now, in the next 6 months, we hope to have a fully functioning app version of this app, and also to allow partners such as MTN and also supermarkets to come on board to integrate the app within their systems. We also partner with media agencies in order for them to offer their tickets on our app. Thank you. Please show the security guard the app. Once you purchase the app, the item, you scan it. Once you check out using the app, the app will give you a barcode which contains a receipt for that item. And the security guard can easily scan for that item using the same app in the store. The receipts are generated within the server and not from the app itself. So there's a unique code for every purchase which is done, which is recorded in the server, and that's how the receipt is shown.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up for them one more time. Okay. Next up, we have AgriSave.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chilumba from AgriSave. So here's just a few quick information tips. The agriculture industry contributes to an approximate of 25% of the country's GDP. We think the agricultural industry isn't being utilized just as much, and that is the problem. So here is Grace, and let me run you through Grace's experience. So Grace grows cabbages, beans, pineapples, and maize, but the problem she's currently facing is her maize is getting stunted growth, and she doesn't know why. Here is Mwansa. She grows and sells tomatoes, but the problem that she's currently experiencing is that she can't sell more, and so now her produce is getting rotten and wasted. Next slide. Here are the Msonda brothers. One of them just came out of jail because he beat someone that stole his cabbages. Next slide. And here was Patrick, one of our mentors, farmer, but he feels he needs to plan for his fertilizer. So he's looking into a way in which he can pay for it before he actually needs it. Next slide. So we have a platform for all these problems, and we're calling it AgriSafe. Basically, it's a suite of services tailored for farmers. So this platform is delivered through web, through phone, automated voice services, SMS, and USSD. Now, with automated voice services, USSD, and SMS, not all farmers speak English, so that we are hoping to integrate language options as well. Next slide. So the key features of our service is remote monitoring through Internet of Things. The financial part of it, if users can use mobile money to pay 3 months before they need fertilizer. The next one is information and tips. So we collect data based on their location, and then we can then deliver them a tip saying, okay, since you're in Monelunga, it's perfect to grow pineapples, for example. And finally, pest control. So pest control is why Grace's maize is having stunted growth. Next slide. So here's a feature of our Internet of Things remote monitoring. So for the Msonda brothers, they don't have to go to jail anymore, because once the system detects an intrusion or a potential threat, he receives a message and then calls him so he can listen into it and see what's happening. So for this particular part, the resources that we use are for Ubuntu, Cisco Spark, VOXML. Basically, everything has got a capability for the Raspberry Pi that we're using for the demo, except Care 4. That's the only thing that doesn't support the Raspberry Pi. Next slide. USSD. So the USSD option, I don't know if you can see it, but allows you to select from even the dumbest phone. You don't need a smartphone to access the platform. It gives you all the options. Next slide. And for a person like Patrick, he could access all the features of the platform through the web. Next slide. So what do we need to do after the hackathon? First of all, we need to talk to farmers because they're the end users of this product and what they actually need and what more the platform can do for them. Then we need to talk to consultancies and experts to help us research more on how we could deliver this platform and service without spending so much money and time. And then next, after all that, we need to build the platform, so we need help from MTN and other, telecom and ICT companies that are willing to get involved. Next slide. So needs moving forward. As we need to move forward, we need a cloud engineer, Internet of Things engineer. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so next up we have TourPal. Can we have the representative of TourPal? Okay, let's make him feel welcome as he walks up on stage. Okay.
My name's Smart Mwangamba. I'm here, of course, representing Tuapau. From the beginning, please. Okay, Tuapau, it's for us, we are providing a solution that should exist in the tourism industry. To define, just for the next one, to define the problem, what we're saying is, of course, one of the problems that I think most tourists face, and according to the comparison of the data that we did just research some few hours ago, is this. There is no one single tool that tourists can put together, one single tool that tourists can use that will be used as a guide, that they can use to book hotels, that they can use even to get cabs, and at the same time, when they're at the point of interest, these being sites can be historical or natural ones like the Victoria Falls, to give them real-time information. So for us, we've said, okay, fine. What if we can say we create a web portal? This web portal, they can use it for planning for their vacation. This will mean, so for example, if they say they want to visit Africa in the next coming 2 years, so that portal, they'll use it for planning. Not only planning, they'll be able to download an app. And this app will accompany them. If they say, they've said they're going to visit maybe 3 or 4 countries in Africa, that app is going to guide them from, let's say, in the case of point, we say maybe from Morocco, from Egypt, way up to South Africa. No need of change. That app aggregates the services that other apps are on the market, but it puts them all in one package. In a little sense, what I'm saying is, imagine them having one tour guide all the way throughout Africa. In this way, they'll save money. They're going to have a wonderful experience in Africa. And I think that's what we're trying to say. Now, next slide. Next one, please. Let's pass to another one. Of course, what the technology we're using is, the major technology we're using on is AR, that's augmented reality. They can take the phone, for example, if that's the Victoria Falls. We know during the dry season, the Victoria Falls is quite dry. So they can take the camera, point at the Victoria Falls, and it can give them an option. One of these options is say, maybe, would you want to see the Victoria Falls probably in the full, in the rainy season, how it looks. They can be able to watch a video, but more importantly, one of them that we had, due to lack of time, was this. If they are visiting a site, let's say, for example, the statue of the famous explorer, that's David Livingstone, it can be able to give them other important sites. Now, importantly, one of them is this. We've incorporated in AR, one of them is to get real-time contact. Say they want to book a cab. All that they have to do is get their phone, point at a cab, it will be able to pop up, if the cab is registered under our system, it will be able to give them the contacts of that cab, and even point in the street, they can be able to, it will also be able to show them where Wi-Fi is, and even hotel, they can also do all those things. Okay, what other things? So maybe just next slide. I know the screen is not that very clear from far up here. Just next slide, please. Next one. So this is the app in action. We took it, of course, in a low-res camera. We are just trying to point that this is something that's working. And of course, we know the app is working in an industry that is growing. Last year, according to some data that we received, we had crossed about over 1 million tourists who are visiting. Now, for us, we're saying it's not only about Zambia. We would want to say every hotel that is coming up or existing hotel that's coming up should concentrate on what it does best, and that is providing hotel services. But for us, we're building an app or a technology front that's able to give these hotels a good business, and at the same time, we are also creating employment for many other people. So the market is quite huge. It's like all of Africa. One innovative technology that is using, of course, is augmented reality. But at the same time, for us, we're saying, hey, why the heck having a whole lot of all those different apps when they can be aggregated in one single app that can act as this very wonderful tour guide who actually can track your information, give you also other sites that you haven't visited. Because if we're trying to say, hey, there are a lot of apps here, let's not create one more. or maybe I should say, on your phone, I bet you've got a whole lot of other apps. You don't want to reach Kenya, you download another one. You reach Mozambique, you download another one. Even here in Zambia, we don't want to have two separate apps, or the one that's catering for the local and the one that's catering for the international. You would want to have just one single app that is acting as a unifying good virtual assistant, if I can use also that term, that is serving you very well. It's like our motto is this: we start the journey with you, and sure, we end the journey with you.
All right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick Gary Snapper, and I'm one of the two members of C-Shop Druids. Well, we created an app called the File Tracker. As you can see, File Tracker quite right. So, consider the fact that many of the times we've actually faced or seen how the fire department is appreciated after they come to a scene of a fire. They receive stones and resentment because they're actually there late and the fire swept through everything. So we thought of a way of actually trying to prevent that by creating an app that will provide them with information, not only in statistical points of view, but also using graphical means in forms of a map viewer. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay. So the solution was to create a software that's going to create a platform for the fire department and the clients themselves to interact. Using USSD and mobile apps, what we did is we need to let the fire department actually have a database or a list of clients that they have. Once they store the list of clients, which is going to have information pertaining to that particular client, the plot number, the street name, and everything descriptive. This will help the fire department actually locate these places faster. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, so what we implemented is actually Microsoft technologies. We used a map viewer called RadMap, and to the far right, you can see the user registration template. What this asks for is actually the contact number, the street address, the name, and obviously the house itself. So what it does is, if an individual's place is set ablaze, so to say there's a fire, what you do is just use the USSD, type in a specific code that's given during registration, and that code is going to retrieve all your details and reflect on the map. We would have had an enhanced view, but the network wasn't in our favor today. So what this does is creates a marker on the map, and you actually see the street name and the location of the house. So that way it's actually easier to locate the house. Like you can see in the next slide. Exactly. So what it does is it reduces the chances of actually missing the place. So if they actually arrive late, then they deserve the stones and the resentment. The resources we've been using, like I stated, Microsoft technology. We've used Microsoft Visual Studio, Microsoft SQL Saver. We've used SQL. We've used XAML and ASP.NET. Next slide. Okay, that's about it. And we thank you. We've also used the USSD, though would like to enhance it more by creating a mobile app that's cross-platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Over to our judges.
No questions. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's give it up for them one more time. Yeah. Next up, we have E-Easy. Let's give it up for E-Easy. Hoo-ha.
Yes, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, everyone. Yes, actually, we have got this app called E-Easy. E-Easy, it's a ticket mobile solution app. The one who is hosting an event, he doesn't have to burden himself in terms of looking for someone who can market and sell their ticket on their behalf. They just have to concentrate on the core activity of an event, which is planning and the security of an event. Yeah. So this is the problem which we are trying to solve as E-Easy, long queues. Have you ever been at showground? You find, if you go there, you find that the long queues which are there, instead of saving time, attend to everything which you want to see in there, you find that you spend more time on the queue, which is not good. But E-Easy, it's going to eliminate all those things. Yeah. So easy to provide a platform where like someone can buy an event ticket on a USSD platform. Even using a very simple phone, you are able to buy an event ticket as simple as that, which is a good thing. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. Customers. The benefit which the customers will be getting on EEZ, a customer can buy a ticket via USSD platform, mobile app, web-based, and they can also buy the ticket for family and friends who are in a different location. Yeah. EEZ, it acts as an interface between the event, the one who is hosting an event, and the customer. So, and then the benefit which the one who is hosting an event can able to track and trace how many tickets have been sold on that particular day. Yeah, next slide. Okay, yeah, that's next slide. Yeah, so EEZ is able to advertise the event on a social platform such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, yeah, and whatnot. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so those are the benefits I've already explained, Anna. Next. Yeah, the resources which you use, ESSD, yeah, mobile app, yeah, web-based. Next up. Yeah. So our next step, we are trying to build a system where like the one who is hosting an event can it doesn't have to burden himself in terms of looking for a DJ who is supposed to maybe play the music on that particular event, even booking a taxi for the customers, and even hotel. Maybe you are in Lusaka, you want to maybe go watch football at in Dora there, and then you don't know how you're going to be, how safe the taxi which you are going to board, so you can even book in advance. Yeah. Actually, we are trying to build something in a Zambian context, something which is going to be user-friendly for the Zambians. You have said like why we're trying to come up with something which is already in existence. We are trying to add value to the already existing products, such as yeah, which are already on the market, which is if you buy a ticket via this platform, you get a reward, which is a good thing. Who couldn't like to use such kind of a platform? Yeah, every ticket you get a reward, and then you can even buy for a friend a ticket who is in a different location. I guess I've answered the question.
Okay, next up we have Pezamalo. Okay, let's give it up for Pezamalo.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Beton Kumbukani Ngona, and this is my colleague Suzy Omwelwa. Just a briefing about Pezamalo. Pezamalo is a real estate advertising platform which doesn't just deal with marketing real estate companies, but also evaluation of properties. I'm sure all of you would agree with me that over time we have adopted to this culture that per se your landlord chases you out of your house now, you will start looking for posts that have been stuck somewhere by agents. If not posts, you start looking for a house around, meaning you have to move around, which is wasting time. And apart from that, you also have to maybe perhaps visit an agent, and you are shown several houses, and you have to pay for viewing fee. And what if you don't like those houses? And apart from that, maybe you're looking for a house in Avondale, and your previous house was in Rhodespark, for instance. You have to move to Avondale, and you have to burn gas. And looking at now, gas is actually expensive. All right? So Pezamalo comes in as a solution. Also, if you're now a real estate company, you know, because people are actually encountering several things like these challenges that I've actually mentioned, perhaps nobody is coming to you because they're afraid to be charged for things that they don't like. Maybe they're afraid they might come to you, and then perhaps the complication that is there in terms of geographical location. And Pezamalo comes in as a real estate advertising platform, but not just as a platform, but also as a property evaluator. So these are the things that was just highlighting on the cost, the time, and the planning, because you have to move, and perhaps you don't even like the house that you find there. But when you visit Pezamalo, which is an online advertising platform, you have got variety of houses there, meaning you make a decision even before you leave, you go and see the house. So that's what happens with Pezamalo. That's our, we are our online hub. Okay, what features does Pezamalo have? Pezamalo actually has an automated software system, rather it's an automated marketing system. With this system, you're able to leave your details. For instance, you're looking for a house and you don't find it, you can leave your details and you're able to get in touch with you. We can send you an email if the house is available. And apart from that, I'm sure most of you would agree with me that if you want to get a loan at the bank, you know, the bank will actually request you to have your house evaluated if you want to use your house as mortgage. So meaning people actually go at Ministry of Lands to get an evaluator who actually does it physically. And Pezamalo comes in to offer an automated evaluation, meaning your properties can be evaluated. And not just doing that, because also reducing costs on how much people are charged for evaluation. And all of you might agree with me that there's no automated system of evaluation in Zambia. And we come in to offer that solution. Okay, so that's the process. You just need to have an account with Pezamalo, which is if you're a real estate company, because you actually market real estate properties. And then people can have an interaction platform with real estate companies. For instance, we're a client in this case. So Pezamalo actually uses an AI, which is a Google AI, and also uses WordPress. So what is our way forward? Our way forward is actually to actually gather database pricing index, and then what resources we require is to build a financial capital and gain access to current, accessible, and accessible technology. So as you can see in Africa, there are only 2 countries that use an automated system. That is just South Africa, Egypt, and Pezamalo will be the 3rd country in Africa. Rather, yeah, in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As of now, the accuracy that our system has is 99%. And if you look at what I stated earlier, that we're gathering a pricing index, so we're gathering information from the government so that our system can be 100%. And I'm sure most of you can agree with me that way back when you're using Google, there are certain times if you try to look for something, it would actually ask you to say, do you mean this? But as of now, Google is accurate because it has been fed information, and then accuracy has also increased. So it is well able to do that. Okay, what we're trying to do as of now, we are actually planning on approaching Lusaka City Council to have their, actually we're trying to get rid of this manual way of doing things. For instance, evaluation. And I'm sure if per se you have heard, or perhaps your property has been evaluated once, there are people that come on site where you are, and they take note of your property and the features that are there, and perhaps they just estimate the value of your house. So we're trying to approach the council, and so that we can be using an automated system, rather than just putting your information, your location, and our system, the engine, which is an AVM, automated valuation system, is able to give you the correct and accurate value of your property. So we will be working hand in hand with the government.
Next up, we have Cognifly. Give it up. Okay. Yeah, TADHack 2016. You saw it first here by MTN for the first time ever. So get hacking and let's do this.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Kampamba Chanda, and today I'm going to talk about a pretty interesting piece of software. So, next slide. Nowadays, people are creating lots of interesting things online. Companies moving the information to the cloud so that people can easily access this information, right? And we've seen the rapid growth of mobile computing, and Zambia hasn't been left out. I bet everybody here, almost everybody's got a smartphone, right? And everybody here is probably tweeting on Facebook or writing stuff on their blogs. So we have this information, right? But how do we get this how do we get the local information? Say we want to say find we're looking for a job, and we use Google, right? It gives us a bunch of irrelevant information, something that is not Zambian. So, next slide. So I was thinking, what ideas can I use to solve this problem, to give people information that they care about if their domain is Zambia? So the first idea is machine learning and AI. So basically, these are models that help us to make sense out of huge chunks of data. The next is Ubuntu scopes. If you're familiar with the Ubuntu smartphone, they developed a way of delivering content to people in a way that is easy, to use. So I was thinking, what would be like if we could get these two interesting ideas and put them together? We can have something interesting there. That's how Cognifly was born. It's a full web search engine. You can have a look at it, www.cognifly.com. www.cognifly.com. So Cognifly is runs an AI. It learns from data and past experiences. The more people that use it, the better it gets. Right now, if I were to search for weather in Lusaka or Mbemba, Achanka weather Bakopa belt, Cognify will give you the weather information. So it's the scope and the AI together to give you a great experience. So unfortunately, you can't see that. These were analytics from 8 October to 14. We're actually looking at the number of users that are actually interested in Cognify and are using it to find Zambian content that they care about. And I've seen a rapid increase in the number of people that are using Cognify. So the top part is India. I was shocked as well when I looked at this. Then the second part is Zambia. Then the third part is, I think, the United States. So people are actually interested in this product.
Thank you so much. Okay, so last but definitely not the least, we have Health Smart. Can the representative of Health Smart? Okay. Let's give it up for them as they make it to the stage.
Good afternoon. My name is Choloi, and this is Chimuka and Pride with HealthSmart. Well, the problem with our Zambian health system is that First of all, we lack basic infrastructure. But first, before I get into HealthSmart, I would like to give a short story that happened. Our brother's Pride lost a very dear friend to him. And we believe it could have been avoided if his friend had access to fast, reliable, and cheap medical advice or consultation. So the problems that we face. First is to do with infrastructure. We don't have good infrastructure in our existing health system. What do I mean by that? Medical records are scattered all around. We don't have one solidified database. The other thing is that we find that the patient-to-doctor ratio is just too high. In Zambia, it's 1 to 12,000 patients to one doctor, which is not good. Furthermore, we find that technology is rising, but then the medical sector is not rising in the same rate as our technology sector is rising. Furthermore, next slide, please. Next. Yes, so what's the solution? We want to come up with a solution which is cheap, affordable to everyone and accessible, and also which can be easily used and also fast and reliable. How do we plan to do this? Is by developing an AI database which is going to get input from people and data and process that information and be able to give it out. How do we see this coming up and being shared? We see that this can give predefined diagnosis to a symptom that the user gives in, whereby hastening the time that is spent on the rate. And further on, Chumuka.
Next slide, please. Next slide. Again. All right. So to interact with our system, we have designed an Android application whereby users can seek for assistance. All right. Perhaps if they're not feeling well, they've got a headache, stomach pain, you just more like check those, then send those that set of conditions to the AI system. Then the AI system will process that, then give a recommendation of what is wrong. Or perhaps if the AI system has not been trained to understand that, it passes on that request to the human doctor, who then recommends the medication. Next slide. Again. Again. All right, just that the image is not clear, but here we're showcasing a map of Lusaka. Next slide. All right, so what basically happens is that when the user uses the application, they are shown an image of the hospital. All right, then they're supposed to show some information concerning that hospital. Next slide. All right, the location of the hospital. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so then here what happens is that the application gives off your GPRS location. So if perhaps you have been caught in an accident or there's a fire, what happens is that you request for an ambulance using the same application. So your application fires off your location such that the ambulance will not have a difficulty locating your precise location. Next slide. So there it shows now the actual location of the hospital. So as you can see, there's a line here. Outlying the route ticket, you can check the hospital. Next slide. Thank you.
So basically what's happening is the whole system is being powered by AI, which is using deep neural networks. So what's happening when you have a problem, and it's basically using matrix to share information between the server and the user. So what you do, you just send information, say on your problem. If you have a headache, you send a query like you have a headache. Then it will ask for more information. Then if it doesn't have enough knowledge based on the information you've provided, then it will hand over to the...
Thank you so much.
We have doctors who are already overloaded. So what we are trying to do is, using deep neural networks, we are trying to provide more like a buffer between a doctor and a person. So if the deep neural network is well trained, it has information about your problem, it will basically give you advice based on the confidence level that it has on your problem. If it doesn't have enough confidence, then it will ask for the doctor to come in. So basically, we are giving a doctor enough time to work on other problems by using the deep neural networks to answer some of the simpler problems. So basically, I can say they're just like complementary services. Like, for example, if I may ask, how many have used the teledoctor here? Most likely, the numbers are few. I can just see two hands that side. Yeah. So basically, what we are trying to do is, sometimes even if you have, say, 1,000 of airtime, it's difficult for you to pick a call to call someone.
to call a doctor. So basically, you can just send the SMS. You see how people are glued to their screens, typing every time. You can just send SMS using Matrix, and it will respond to you and give you information on your problem. So basically, like the case that my friend talked about, the guy fell ill, but normally when you have these illnesses, we normally don't go to the hospital. So what we're trying to do is make it easy. When you have a problem, we make it easy for you to get expert information. Basically, if I have a headache, I may ask him, I have a headache. Probably he'll tell me, drink some water. But if you've got an expert information on the matter, it makes it easy, and probably we can't experience other problems that we have. Because now you find that most people just go to the hospital when it's really serious. Just an example, say malaria probably will take maybe 3 symptoms, right? Then you present another case where you have 5 symptoms, and you have 3 which are in malaria. Then what do you do with that? The deep neural network will create a knowledge graph based on the information that you provided. So basically, it will have a confidence level based on the symptoms that it has seen. So what we have is we have 42 data sets which are provided by UCI. So in those data sets, probably we have a number of symptoms which are recurring. So from those symptoms, it will have a confidence level on each problem. So maybe with the symptoms that you provide, it has 40%, it's 40% sure that maybe it's malaria. Probably can't give prescription for that. The confidence level is too low. It just has to hand over to a human doctor who will communicate with you, and it will learn from the information that they will request from.
Let's give it up for Trends, the last group presenting today.
Hello world. My name is Andrew Banda, and I'm here to introduce you to Trends. So what is Trends? So Trends basically is trying to solve these problems. Nowadays, you've been there where you want to sell something and you go on Facebook, Amasampo, or eBay Zambia, and you post it into that platform, and what you find is it goes down to the bottom. No one responds to you. If they do, you get spammers who constantly spam you, asking you sort of what I would call silly questions to maybe drop your prices. As well, we have classifieds. Classifieds are just generic. You don't know what you're looking for. Is the information there? Now, what Trends is trying to do is make a cost-effective platform which is not generic, is specified to you. So basically what we're trying to do is say, what do you love? And can we connect you to that? So Trends is a platform which will connect people to other people really based on what they like. So if you have something you want to advertise, post it up, you have a game, and only people who are interested in games will be able to contact you. So you won't get spammers or anyone else. And if you are looking for a place as well, based on your preferences as well, people will be able to contact you, or events will be able to pop up so that you can hear about events which you are interested in. So it's more like it's targeted advertisement for you, made by you. You decide what you want to see. Next slide, please. So this is a sort of a screenshot. You can't really see. I don't know if you can see. So that's Trends right here. We are trying to work on making it more pretty, like me, ching ching, but we're getting there. We have one of our developers on hand. He's going to take you through the app so that you can sort of understand the app. And what's good about the app as well, it has geolocation, which means events which are around you will be able to pop up, and you can get notifications on those as well. And the most innovative part we think about this is we will be able to capture everyone who has a smartphone, because it uses your talk time if you want to advertise any event, you want to sell your product, etc., etc. Next slide, please. The resources we'll be using, I can't really see here, will be for one, MTN for the transaction, or any mobile subscriber, but MTN, please take us on. We'll be using UASD for all the SMS transaction. What's next? What we want to do next is we love privacy of our users, so we want to build an in-app chat as well, so that you don't have to give away your mobile number and people can just contact you through in-app and you can meet them. And as well, we want to make it cross-platform later on so that it's not only talk time which you use, but more other payment solutions. But we feel talk time is very easy for you because you can easily access it. Just as simple as having a 10 kwacha in your phone, you can post an ad and people who are interested in what you love will be able to respond to you. No more spamming, you get what you pay for and you find what you pay for. Thank you.